In the headlines, armed robbery in Roseau leaves one man in intensive care. The OECS Commission says it's dedicated to implementing hassle-free travel within the OECS, and the University of the West Indies partners with a Chinese university to help stop the region's brightest from moving away to greener pastures. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. First up, one man is in the intensive care unit while a senior citizen is still reeling from the shock of an armed robbery at his shop on Tuesday. Here's more. A typical day for Bernard Simeon is relatively peaceful, but on Tuesday, Simeon would be in for a scare. In broad daylight, while he was at his shop on Murphy's Lane, a masked man dressed in black entered allegedly demanding money. When he got to the crime scene, Simeon was being assisted to clean up blood droplets on the floor of his shop. No information on the identity of the victim up to news time. The gunman made good his escape with an undisclosed amount of money. One family in Foyal will have to wait some time before investigators can determine whether skeletal remains discovered in Newfoundland on Monday is that of a family member who vanished years ago. Julian Morris reports.
When Channel 5 News arrived on the scene on Tuesday, investigators were already on the job. They found what they describe as fragments of a human skeleton in the area. I'm standing alongside the Newfoundland highway there, and to my left, about 300 feet into the forest, that's where the remains were found. Now the thing is, we have to be very careful here because we do not know much more than that, because this is a matter obviously which is under investigation, and as you can probably see over my shoulder, the investigative team, the investigative officers from the investigative department are still on location. They've been working since morning here, and what we can tell you is that yes, in truth and in fact, human remains were found, but we cannot speculate as to whom they belong at this point. This is very early in the game. We did take it on our own initiative to go into the community of Foyal, where we were told there had been one gentleman, Donald George, in his 40s, who went missing about 7 years ago. Search parties went out to look for him. They never found him. We were told by one relative that he would normally come in the area to assist farmers during banana harvesting time, now and again. Gemma Pascal is the niece of Donald George, the mentally ill man from Foyal who went missing 7 years ago.
He is a mentally ill patient. He normally walks. Everybody know him as Mill or Donald.
He went missing 7 years ago,
yes,
you said?
7 years ago. Like during the March to April, 1st of April, during late March to 1st of April, those times there, 7 years ago.
When he went missing, there were search parties that went out looking for him?
Yes. Yes, and my uncle Brian did spoke on Mapping to say that my uncle went, but nobody never see him.
I was told by a neighbor that he went missing one Saturday night, and after that they never saw him again. He left one Saturday night and never returned.
I guess so, because actually you're staying on his own, but he normally go walk, but he actually always coming back home. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But 7 years and no sign of him, nothing?
No sign.
The long and short of it is that we can confirm that the remains were discovered there, about 300 feet away from the main highway at Newfoundland, into the forest there. But we will have to wait and see, wait for the results of the work of the investigators to find out if they can determine to whom these remains actually belong. So at this point we have no idea who that person was. We have to wait until the outcome of the investigations, but this is what we can tell you at this point. Julian Morris in Newfoundland reporting for Channel 5 News.
Court news now. There were 2 guilty pleas when the criminal session of the High Court opened on Tuesday. Samoza John pleaded guilty to indecently assaulting an 8-year-old girl back in December 2010. He is represented by attorney-at-law Geoffrey Leighton and will be sentenced on 29th April, when the facts of the case will be read. The court has also ordered a social inquiry report. Meantime, Corey Timothy also pleaded guilty to unlawful sexual intercourse on a 15-year-old girl between August 1 and 31, 2014. He will also be sentenced on the 29th of April. Because of his guilty plea, the state withdrew 3 charges previously filed against him for indecent assault. 2 women also appeared for wounding offenses and pleaded not guilty. Michelle John Charles appeared for grievous bodily harm and wounding. Her matter has been fixed for June. Nadia Bruno is charged with unlawful wounding and grievous bodily harm with intent. The incident took place in Goodwill on June 6, 2011. A date has not yet been set for her trial. There are 7 murders on the cause list, which is dominated by sexual offenses. In other developments, the OECS Commission is serious about putting measures in place to make hassle-free travel possible. Free movement of people within the OECS took effect in August 2011 when 6 OECS states allowed for OECS citizens to enter their territories and remain for an infinite period to either work, establish business, or reside. OECS citizens can also travel from one OECS country to another using a driver's license, voter's registration card, or national ID card for entry. The matter now for the OECS Commission is deepening the process to implement hassle-free travel within the OECS. Claude Paul, who is a technical advisor to the OECS on free movement, spoke to Channel 5 News about that plan.
But that process is deepening as we go along and move into what we call a single domestic space. So we'd expect in the coming months to speak about hassle-free traveling so that you don't have to do the security checks at every step of the OECS as happens now. So, but some work has to be done in terms of training and getting capacity and persons doing the same thing so that the one step the one check into the OECS would be sufficient for the entire economic union.
This is all in the name of promoting OECS member states as an economic union.
So you know, at the moment when you travel between the member states, you have to go through the process of passport checks and customs checks, and also the question of security checks. In the ideal situation, once you have entered the member state, one member state, and you are moving between member states, this ought not to be anymore. I don't know if you've traveled to the US, where at the first point of entry in the US you meet the formalities, and at other points you don't have to do it. Similarly, and in Europe, that's how the arrangements are. At the first point in Europe, you complete those border formalities, and there's no need for it anyway. Similarly, the OECS will have to adopt some of those measures.
The University of the West Indies is taking steps to combat the brain drain phenomenon in the Caribbean. The disclosure was made by Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the UWI Open Campus when she addressed the media on Tuesday.
There is no reason to not want to educate, to pour money in education because you're afraid the people are going to leave you and that your investment won't pay off, right? The problem, however, for us in the region is the other end of the spectrum, and this is where the university now is getting very active because we are training our young people, and yes, they are leaving the region. So the concern is, here we are training, not enough, but do we have the absorptive capacity in our countries to absorb our graduates? And this is why we are now working with private sector, with other institutions to develop industry.
Longsworth says UWI is partnering with a university in China in order to create opportunities for young people to remain in the region.
The University of the West Indies, for the first time, has formed a new university in collaboration with a university in Suzhou province in China. Now, Suzhou is the Silicon Valley of China. Now, what the university has done through the initiative of our new Vice Chancellor is to partner with the Global Institute of Software Technology. And we now have officially launched the UWI China Institute of Technology, which will begin operation in September with a BSc in software technology, software engineering. Now, that will be a physical location at Cave Hill and at Mona. So what the university is doing by taking that measure is ensuring that we can develop a software industry that can absorb our young people.
Dr. Longsworth is on island to address the 9th annual NBD and UE National Distinguished Lecture on Wednesday. Coming up, Prime Minister Skerritt continues to lobby for local acts to be featured in the World Creole Music Festival lineup. Thanks for staying with us. Prime Minister Skerritt continues to lobby for local acts to be featured on the WCMF lineup, but says artists should not dictate to the organizers at what position they should perform. Skerritt says he hopes he will get an official lineup for this year's World Creole Music Festival this week.
Our position from a policy standpoint is that we need to ensure that the local artists are featured and not in a token fashion, but in a serious fashion. And there must be respect from on both sides. The committee must respect the artists, and the artists must respect the committee. And it is the committee that determines the order for the night. And if you are given a gig and you're asked to come at 9, then 9 it is. If you do not want to come at 9, then you tell them, no, thank you very much, I will not perform this show, I do not agree with the time, and walk out.
The Prime Minister strongly believes local music professionals have to deliver a good quality product. What he would like to see, according to him, is millionaire musicians from Dominica.
I announced at the annual shareholders meeting of the Aid Bank that the government intends to set up a special loan facility at the Aid Bank directed at musicians and the music industry in Dominica. And all I will say at this time is that it will be certainly more than the $500,000 which we announced in the budgeting. And our hope is that we will be able to lend to the musicians at a concessionary rate. And I believe from where I sit as Minister of Finance, I believe the music industry should be making a greater contribution. There should be a separate line item in regards to your contribution to the GDP. Separate line item. Look at how much foreign exchange that you brought in. Same as we do for tourism.
Reggae artist Divine Songs has not just been pushing himself on the regional music scene, he is also promoting the island as a tourism destination for cruise passengers. Idona John Baptist has more.
Divine is normally singing his heart out, and it isn't merely a pastime. The Dominican reggae artist works for Carnival Cruise Lines. He likes to think of himself as a promotion ambassador, as he often educates cruise passengers about Dominica. He has returned to Dominica for vacation, and the public should soon be seeing him on some local gigs.
Well, as you can imagine, I meet a lot of people, and I'm doing music on the ship also. So I have the stage where, I meet a lot of people. I meet a lot of big-name DJs, a lot of artists. And so they get to hear my music, because I do my music, my original music. So I educate them on where Dominica is from and let them know it's not the Dominican Republic. I have a speech that I say, to let them know the difference and where we are on the map, what our music, our genres of music. I should be getting a check. Because, I do a lot of promoting, not just for myself, but for Dominica. And like I said, on my social media, I'm trying to do for Dominica what Bob Marley did for Jamaica, what Rihanna has done for Barbados.
The Caribbean Vibes vocalist is fresh from a promotional tour in Barbados and Jamaica for his remix of Many Waters, produced by Cornell Phillip, a collaboration with Gramps Morgan of Morgan Heritage. In Jamaica, he rubbed shoulders with internationally acclaimed artists Beanie Man and Egyptian, and made appearances on Hype TV and Hits FM.
The reaction that I got from Dominica, I always felt like I should go further with that song. And I remember speaking to Crandall Reggie, she works for Tempo, and I was telling her, we should get somebody, who can we get? So we discussed Christopher Martin, some other artists, and we discussed Gramps. And I got the link to Gramps through her, and we sent him the song, and he said, that's a hit song, I love it. And he wanted so he showed interest in working on the song, and we just went from there. The thing is, once you get on a certain level, then you meet people on that level also, So that's what the collaboration has done, because now I can mention Gramps Morgan, Grammy Award winner Gramps Morgan. So now I meet producers on that level, you know, I meet other artists on that level because it has opened a lot of doors.
Tropical Storm Erica victims have benefited from funds donated by the country's debut Winter Olympic team and a group of their friends. Idona John Baptist reports.
The millionaire former investment fund manager Gary Di Silvestri of Staten Island, New York, and his Italian wife Angelica, together with 19 foreigners, gave a total of $20,407 US. The funds were sent through Red Cross International to the Dominica Red Cross to help families affected by the August 2015 storm. The Di Silvestris were Dominica's representatives at the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia, in cross-country skiing. However, they did not complete their events after reportedly being admitted to hospital. According to a statement by the Dominica Red Cross, the couple took the initiative to rally support from their friends for financial aid for Storm Erica victims. They matched the donation with a contribution of $10,100 US. The press release stated that the Di Silvestris demonstrated profound concern for victims through the Dominica Olympic Committee. The couple qualified to register as Dominica's Winter Olympic team since they obtained Dominican citizenship by way of the country's Citizenship by Investment program.
That's news. I'll be back with your sports highlights after this. Hello everyone, and here are your sports highlights. We kick off with football. 25 local referees can now upgrade their skills thanks to a 5-day FIFA training course hosted by the Dominica Football Association. FIFA instructors Denmore Roberts and Kelisha Antwine are on island to facilitate the course, along with local instructors Carlisle John Baptist and Christina Sobers. The training sessions will include theory, practical, and a fitness test. The sessions will run from April 13 to 17 at the Football House. Starting time is 9 a.m. Meantime, 7 matches are scheduled this week in the national leagues of the DFA. Gerald George has details.
In the All-Island League on Wednesday, Petit Savant Dream Team will take on Club Loubier at the Pori playing field, while on Thursday it will be Delton United versus Wayne George Academy at the Newtown playing field. On Friday, Baffin State Football Club will come up against Times Baller sideman Middleham United, also at the Newtown playing field. These matches will begin at 6 p.m. On Sunday, Nemesis United will battle Jubla Football Club at the Benjamin Park at 5 p.m. And in the Domlec Women's League on Sunday, defending champions New India Goodwill Runners will take on Bomber Starlights in the first match of a doubleheader at the Newtown playing field from 3 p.m. to be followed by New Generation Sports Club versus Dive Dominica Harlem United at 5 p.m. While at the Taser Grounds in Maho, Wood City Strikers will battle Maho Soka Strikers at 3 p.m.
In cricket, President of the Dominica Umpires Association has proposed that the WICB use the recent victory of the West Indies teams as a marketing strategy to promote regional cricket and attract the corporate community. Heston Charles says the win can be the encouragement needed to improve cricket in the Caribbean.
Even with the West Indies Cricket Board, they have something now, they have a bargaining tool. If you're looking for corporate sponsors, here you go. You have a team that win a match with 1 over left. You understand what I'm saying? And they win with 19 runs, chasing 19 runs, and they win the match in 4 balls. Sponsors will be wagging their tail behind you and saying, I want to sponsor your team. So the regional governance of cricket, West Indies Cricket Board, they have something to bargain. They have something to bargain. that is, you have a winning team.
Charles is of the opinion that the West Indies triple victory will not be repeated for many generations.
This is an aspect of history that will not be equated, not in my lifetime, not in your lifetime. We will see many, many decades, you may see 100 years or more before such an occurrence repeats itself where a territory in cricket has won 3 World Cups in a season.
Charles says despite the Windies' past, moving forward, their success at the World Cup could serve as a catalyst for upward mobility for the sport in the Caribbean.
So that for me will really inspire cricketers in the region, that will really intrigue the confidence level for West Indies cricket. Yes, we have been going through a lot in our cricket, but I really hope that cricketers in the region will use that as an inspiring impetus to get them to pay more interest in the game.
Moving now to action organized by the Sports Division. Melissa Magloire stirred up trouble in the Northeast Comprehensive Camp as the Dominica State College gave the team from the East a 64-point pounding on Monday. Magloire piloted her team to victory with a convincing 58 points, while Donisha Xavier assisted with 26 to help DSC reach 101. NECS was limited with ball possession and were only able to reach 37. Shalaika Tuse got 11 and Leneta Cadet 10 for NECS. On to Bangalore now to check out the Indian Premier League. Royal Challengers Bangalore beat Sunrisers Hyderabad by 45 runs on Tuesday. AB de Villiers 82 and Virat Kohli 75 helped put RCB in the lead as the team posted 227 for 4, taking first to knock. West Indies' Chris Gayle was out for 1 run after the ball brushed off the bottom of his thigh pad and hit the leg stump. Sunrisers Hyderabad were 182 for 6 in reply. David Warner made 58 for Sunrisers. Meantime, in the NBD Primary Schools Girls Football Championships, Newtown Primary finished in first place with 9 points, winning all 3 games. Second place went to Grand Bay with 4 points, having 1 win, 1 draw and 1 loss. These 2 teams will advance to the next round. The games continue Wednesday at the Lindo Park. In scheduled basketball matches, Intelco Security Raiders and Fashion Line Falcons will go head-to-head in a Division 1 match on Wednesday from 7 p.m. Also on Wednesday night at 9, Signman X-Men will come up against Elijah Law Chambers Thunderers. All the action in the 2016 Flow DABA League will be happening at the Lindo Park. Finally, in netball, we can tell you that defending champions New India Assurance Celtic will take on Spartans in a competitive match at the Dominica Grammar School Hard Court on Wednesday. Starting time is 4:30 p.m. That's all the sports for now. I am Kenny Williams. Do join us again next time. Your weather report is next.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Annie Corretta Joseph. We start off this evening by taking a look at some earlier satellite imagery, and what it showed is this area of convection associated with a trough system currently affecting the area. Visible satellite imagery showed mostly low-level clouds associated with the trough system. Radar imagery indicated some scattered showers across the islands. Conditions for tonight, mostly cloudy to overcast at times with some scattered showers. Similar conditions tomorrow. Persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides and falling rocks are advised to exercise some caution. Sea conditions, slight to moderate in open water with waves up to 5 feet. Taking a look at the extended forecast, on Thursday, mostly cloudy sky with scattered showers. Friday, a temporary improvement in conditions, partly cloudy with a few scattered showers. The trough system will maintain mostly cloudy skies with scattered showers across the northern and central portions of the island chain. Meanwhile, partly cloudy conditions can be expected across the extreme southern portion. On the international scene, clear skies in New York, Miami and Beijing, a chance of thunderstorm in London, and a chance of rain in Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:52 a.m. and set at 6:20 p.m. For updated information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Armed robbery in Roseville leaves one man in intensive care. The OECS Commission says it's dedicated to implementing hassle-free travel within the OECS, and UE partners with a Chinese university to help stop the region's brightest from moving away to greener pastures. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNewsApril12th2k16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube page. On behalf of the production team, I am Kenny Williams, and to our viewers around the world, thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow.